Hello, this is Frontline here. Welcome back to another Behind the Frontline video. In this one, we are actually working on Life of a Hermit. And right here, I have the script open. I actually have done quite a bit of the liberties in the beginning of the video phase here. So I've written this all out. The main thing is that the Hermit does most of the lines. And then there's the man and, well, there's also technically random person, but he literally just shows up to do one line and get blown up by a rocket launcher. I probably kill off too many characters in my videos, don't I? It's like, especially in 2 Minute News Station, I actually realized that like 3 of the main characters that were actually in the series kind of ended up going away by the end of the whole thing. But that's maybe we'll try to come up with some sort of video that doesn't rely on that. But anyway. Right here, we've got Life of a Hermit. He's basically the narrator. He goes along in his hermity life. A person comes up to him and they talk a little bit. And it's a really interesting story. I just kind of wrote it. I wrote it at one point and just transitioned it to Celtics because a lot of my ideas I actually write on paper before I ever write them on the software itself. So I just kind of wrote it down, and now we've done the script. So the things I've done other than that is that I've recorded the actual files. Got Kyle's parts here, Hermit. I technically have the random person, but again, he has one line. And I've actually used freesound.org to help me out in getting some random screams. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually going to be very good, because what I've come up with so far doesn't sound all that appealing, but I'm just combining the screams, and how I do that, let's actually try to find a good scream here. It's good enough. You know, we can undo it later. Let's just let's cut this out, and right here we'll layer it over. So how we do that is I normally just edit single channel, because if we do double channel and press like V, it just inserts it into the clip, and that's not what we do. We want to overlay it over the top of what's already playing. So we do that. We go to the next line, undo, redo, and then paste. So that way it makes it so that the clip is all in one area. It's all selected in the right region. And this is what I have so far. It sounds pretty bad. I'll have to edit it a little bit. I'll definitely have to edit it a little bit, but this is what I've got for like the beginning part, because if you don't know, in the beginning of the script, you've got like the screams of the fiery buildings. That's the reason why the Hermit moved there, because pretty much no one's going to like survive the random, I have no idea what it is, or maybe they'll evacuate. They'll be all like, oh, everything's burning, let's get out of here. Yeah, it doesn't have to be that they just randomly go away, but yeah. So right here, this is pretty much what happens when you overlay a bunch of screams on top of each other. Yeah, so that's what I have so far. I'll probably have to get more like male screams as well inserted into there, but that's pretty much what I've done. It's like just having 3 of these lines really does kind of create an atmosphere. It's like I don't want to record the lines myself, because otherwise there wouldn't be much there wouldn't be variation in the clip itself. So having the freesound.org might help a little bit. Maybe I'll be able to even use that for some other videos. But yeah, for this time, I'm just going to continue doing the screams and editing down the Hermit and all of this into one whole entire full edit. And yeah, I'll catch you guys when I actually am recording the main thing in Halo Reach to be able to create the machinima. So in previous Behind the Frontline videos, I've actually shown you what I do inside of the game to record a section, but here I'm actually going to show you how I'm able to go out of body into the theater mode and actually record like this. So I basically just start the film that I did last time, and in this case it's a very simple film. All it is just me walking, because I actually didn't record as much footage as I wanted to before. So now we're just going to go through this. Technically you can fast forward by doing the trigger. If we do right trigger, then we're just able to kind of bypass a bunch of these steps. I'm kind of struggling being able to put my arm or my stuff away, but there we're able to basically just go right here. I press B to get rid of all of the extra menus. If I click the thing here, we should be able to pan. Yeah, even though I'm flying towards the ground, I'm still staying at a level height. That's pretty much what panning is. I'm able to not have to worry about like going up and down. I just have to worry about following this guy all the way backward. So I'm going to try to play the footage and match his speed, because that's one of the things. Like, I gotta make sure that he's being shown. I also kind of want to show like the scenery around him, not necessarily just him, but like also being able to see like the buildings behind. So now at this point I run back over, gonna like speed ahead. Let's try and start panning again. This time we're going to go at a lower angle, see how this looks. I'm also a little slow, but there, it's like we're able to actually get a good angle on this guy, be able to see the burning buildings in the background, see all the death and destruction that's going on behind him. Kind of set the mood a little bit. Having like shots like this is actually a very good thing. And yeah, I think that was all that I actually had for this scene. So now we'll just be able to pause it right here. And yeah, that's pretty much how I record things. I'm not going to go too much in detail because at the moment I'm actually in a time crunch, and it's very time consuming for me to record these behind the frontline clips. So instead, I'm just going to leave you guys to see me edit, and maybe I'll do something else, maybe like work with closed captioning. I'm not sure. I can't imagine closed captioning being that interesting, so probably not that. But yeah, we'll see what the next clip is, and we'll try to finish up the video here. This is going to be the last clip of the Behind the Frontline for this video, and that is mainly because I've actually just wanted to get a lot of this process done. It is very time consuming to create this kind of a project. It was insane to just get all of the specific fades and like effects the way I wanted them to be. Like certain scenes I wanted to have the camera zoom out of, had like the different fading effects. This great time-lapse scene actually took me quite a bit of time and effort to get completely right. And this part also has a crop and zoom. You kind of go into his face there. This one was a really interesting choice because you can see at the sides I actually added an effect called focus, and what this does is that it actually makes it, if we emphasize it a little more, then it becomes more obvious. It makes it so that there's like a little bit on the outside of the camera that encroaches in. Like this is just a black background. Put it back onto 8. But yeah, like the reason for this, maybe we should put on a little bit more. I feel like 6 is pretty good. But yeah, this actually kind of gives the effect that this is actually kind of a dream sequence. It's not a very long dream sequence, I will admit. It's just him walking, but then you realize, nope, he's just standing there. That's all he's doing. He's only wanting to go, but he never does, and that he'll always be a hermit. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the film right there. And it was a very great process to make. I am very happy with how the script and how this whole entire thing turned out. And all I need to do is create the outros. I've already messed with the music a little bit. I really like the Cruising Through Life, making it so that like right here, Life of a Hermit, bam, it just appears, and then like fades out as the hermit actually starts to talk. Which, now that I think about it, I actually never named the hermit, which is actually even more interesting, come to think of the story of this guy right here. It's like you don't get to know his name until the end either, and you never get to know the hermit's name. He's just basically the hermit. He's himself. And yeah, anyway, this has really been all from this video. It's been a long process. This is actually being released late because I really wanted this video to be perfect. right now you can see it is 2:23 Saturday that I am actually recording this clip. So it's going to release a little bit later today. I'll produce it, make sure that everything works all right. But that has really been all from me in this Behind the Frontline video. If you like it, and be sure to check out the actual full video itself if you haven't already. You probably should have checked out the video before you even started watching the behind the scenes. But you can do what you want, I guess. As long as you watch the final product, I don't mind that much. But anyway, this has been all from me, as I said, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
When I first moved here, I always knew it was the place I wanted to be. Marvelous. I happen to like living alone, and that is what I do on a day-to-day business on my property here.